I was streaming and I got asked the question, could you talk about grace? And I was, well, that's a weird question. By grace, you have been saved through faith. Grace is our salvation. But then I started to look at it, and grace is a lot more complex than I think I was ready for. But also not. The first question is, what is grace? Grace is simply a gift. It could be something abstract or concrete. It's a favor or a gift. It's something that you're given. You can show grace to someone by giving them a thing. Here's $100. I've just shown you grace. God has given us grace by giving us Jesus Christ, who died on the cross. That's God's grace. By grace have we been saved through faith, not of works, lest any man should boast. And we know in Titus 2:11, for the grace of God has appeared, bringing salvation to all people. God's grace is our salvation. It's more than just that, though. It's more than just the gift of salvation. God's grace is also his favor. Genesis 19:19, behold, your servant has found favor in your sight. And then it's not just the gift of our salvation. Grace is also spiritual gifts that we are given. Romans 12:6, having gifts that differ according to the grace given to us. Let us use them, if prophecy in proportion to our faith. So the grace of God is also our spiritual gifts. 1 Peter 4:10 calls them gifts as well, as each has received a gift to use to serve one another as good stewards of God's varied grace. It's grace that has freed us from the law, and it is grace that allows us to exist and to work. God's grace is boundless, Ephesians 1:7, and we should ask for God's grace because that's what we need more than anything else. We don't need to pray for strength because God's grace is strength, because God will give you what you need to make it through any situation. 2 Corinthians 12:9, Paul talking, but he said to me, he being Christ, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. All we need is God's grace, for in our weakness, Christ is magnified. What we need more than anything is God's grace, because God's grace is what he gives you to uplift you and what he gives you to uplift others. I don't think I was ready for how powerful grace is, but I think it's kind of cool because God's grace is amazing. I hope this helped you. I hope this did something for you. I thought this was fascinating. I would recommend looking at grace in the Bible. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.